Hello, my name is Kimberly Roberts. I am representing Watch Exotics. I would like to talk to you about an invasive species. It is called Didymnum vexillum Cott. 2002. It forms ascidian colonies which are sessile. They attach themselves to hard surfaces. This animal is a member of the invertebrate class Acidiaceae, subphylum Urochordata. This species lives in water. They have no backbone, unlike humans who do have a backbone. It is found in the seas and on the North Atlantic coast in such places as New York and Massachusetts. They often attach themselves to ship hulls, large crabs, rocks, and boats. The colonial sea squirt is protected by an outer covering called a tunic. The tunic is a tissue which looks like cellulose. The colonial sea squirt has two openings. One acts as a mouth, the oral aperture, and the other as an anal or as an anus colloquial aperture. Water is pumped through the animal's body by pharyngeal cilia. Oxygen and food are vital for a colonial sea squirt's life. They absorb nutrients through gill slits in the pharynx. The sea squirt feeds on debris from another animal as well as plankton in the ocean. The colonial sea squirts can reproduce in two different ways, sexually and asexually. When a colonial sea squirt procreates by budding, it grows a little branch which breaks off at the base and forms a new sea squirt. This structure is called a zooid. The budding zooids get together and form a colony. The colony, in turn, gets stuck on a surface. The colonies form mats on a hard and immobile surface. The sea squirts infuse themselves sexually. They can create eggs in water, which are fertilized by sperm. This union of sperm and egg forms larvae. The larvae swim around freely until it settles down and finds a place to metamorphose. To metamorphose means to attach its sucker, which can be found on the front end of its body. The larvae also contains a notochord and nerve cord which later disappear. A colonial sea squirt cannot stay alive in muddy waters. If its oral aperture is covered, it will die. The colonial sea squirt can be called an ecosystem engineer because it has a disastrous effect on the fishing industry. The colonial sea squirt captures its living space quickly and chokes out all other living things. The mats, which grow in water, disturb the ecosystem. Many fisheries have lost money. Careful records have been kept about how the sea squirt have affected the fishing business. No fisherman wants to see the sea squirt because they prevent the barnacles and mussels from growing and thriving in their native environment. Sea squirt larvae can grow on one substrate and break off. They can create even more sea squirts. Many methods have been utilized to keep the colonial sea squirt under control. The first method is to keep the sea squirt from taking over by preventing new invasion. And the second method is to try to reverse its total effect so it doesn't ever get to the point where it's taking over and doing all the things that it shouldn't be doing. Quarantine techniques are being performed to remedy the problem. Research shows that the climate of the water begets mating among sea squirts. The degree to which colonies debase in winter weather controls the amount of time necessary to recuperate, revive, and breed larvae. Larval fledglings will be discharged at the finish of the developmental period as water becomes heated, not when a certain temperature is attained. Larval likely will become visible at certain temperatures at climatically different sites and at about the same moment, and the condition at climatically similar sites will remain the same. Constantly changing climate lends itself to reproductive failure. The time required for a new generation of colonial sea squirts to procreate depends on the weather. As water temperatures drop, less reproduction occurs in colonies. In Great Harbor, Woods Hole, Massachusetts, a 12 by 12 by 0.6 centimeter horizontal PVC plate was installed, suspended by some ropes into the ocean. A total of 28 such pieces of PVC were installed 1/3 of a meter from one another. The PVC was removed from the water, studied with a magnifying glass, and photographed in the water. Another experiment was performed at Appledore Islands, Isles of Shores, Maine. This experiment was the same as the Woods Hole, Massachusetts experiment, except the PVC were vertical and the results were similar. The colonial sea squirts were being studied so that they would be able to control them and other fish and animals could live with them without being eliminated. Thank you.